But I'll just say welcome to the
Sounds great.
camera. I'm Connor from Fusion. I'm community manager, and we're here in Fusion in Geneva, and I'm joined by Vivien from EzyCount. And why don't we just start off? I mean, tons of questions, but why not just start by telling us a little bit about what EzyCount does and your own background and experience?
Okay, so thank you for inviting me today. So EzyCount is AI-powered blockchain accounting. So our target is actually to simplify and then automate accounting for self-employed in Switzerland, but then later on in the world, because we believe that accounting should be. We hear everywhere, automation is coming. Automation is coming. What is one of the first place where automation is coming? It's accounting. So we're doing it.
So it's quite a slogan though, to have AI blockchain powered accounting. Yeah. I'm wondering if you can unpack that a little bit for me and explain why artificial intelligence and blockchain happen to be two of the best technologies that actually go alongside accounting.
Yeah. So we started in 2015 and our mission hasn't changed. And now we're actually getting AI and blockchain inside of it because they are the right tools for us to move forward. We're using AI because actually the automation worked as such that it copies what does an assistant fiduciary in a fiduciary office. So in a normal fiduciary office, you have fiduciaries and then you have fiduciary assistant. So we're copying what's doing the fiduciary assistant. And the fiduciary assistant, what does that person is collecting data from the customer, like bank transaction, credit card transaction, invoices, expenses, and so on, then tries to do bookings out of it. And when that person doesn't know, that person is going to look at the past, look last year accounting to see how that kind of transaction was done. And if that person doesn't know, that person is going to communicate with his or her boss, so the fiduciary, or directly with the customer to get more information. And then based on and the way it's done is actually a human interaction. We're kind of like replacing a human interaction, so that's AI. And the blockchain, we're currently using, there's two uses of the blockchain. The first one, the one we're doing right now, is the licensing model, because we offer a lifelong software license that customer can actually transfer or sell afterward. So basically, if you buy one of those licenses, you can then transfer it to someone, you can then sell it. And the blockchain is actually for us the only easy way to make sure that when someone's coming back to us and say, hey, I've got those licenses, so we just say, okay, show us the tokens, and then we check against the blockchain.
You can verify it, yeah.
Exactly.
Does it create, so that's interesting because I actually didn't know that myself. Does it create any kind of complexities then when someone is transferring their account to another person in terms of secure information? Because yes, it will stay on the blockchain, it will be immutable and incorruptible, but what happens if you transfer an account but you don't necessarily want that new person to see the old history from the account?
So we only looking right now at the licenses. A lot down the road, we're going to look at how to put accounting data on the blockchain, but that's still something that's coming in the future, and it's really dependent to tax authorities and governments putting regulation in place to oblige or push companies to put their data on the blockchain. About the licensing is actually you can do that. It's a token as a license. So TAL, token as a license, as before it was SaaS, software as a service. So it's token as a license. And you have your wallet with your tokens. And actually, when you're in EzyCount, you say, I want to have access to EzyCount. And we'll tell you, okay, tell us your wallet number. And then we actually check on the blockchain, does that wallet actually own those tokens? And if you have enough token, you have access to the software. If you suddenly transfer those tokens to another wallet, you will actually lose the right to
access.
The access. You will actually lose the access. And then you will say, oh, but I just transferred to my next wallet. So you put your next wallet in it and then you get access again.
So with all of this in mind, it's a pretty new and novel way of then actually distributing licenses and using that kind of software. Was this all your idea, and do you have the blockchain and the AI knowledge yourself, or was this something that you had to teach yourself a bit, or do you have other co-founders with this kind of knowledge, or how did you actually then go from the idea and the concept of using these technologies in this way to actually executing on them?
So it's a team effort. First and foremost, it's a team effort. We're 11 people in EzyCount, so it's really a team effort, and we have great advisor supporting us for technology and so on. And the idea was we wanted to do lifelong licenses that people can actually get the most value of it. And to get the most value of it, you need to be able in 2 to 3 years or 4 years to give it to someone or sell it. And then we looked, okay, how can we do that? If we do the usual way of doing software licenses, it's very messy. So because we need to provide a platform to you, how you can sell it, then we need to manage all that complexity, and then you also have all the issue with hacking. So if we give you a number, how are we going to check that someone in 3 years coming with a number? It's not something that we did, and especially if you sell to someone we don't know that you sold, so we need to. It's getting really, really messy. And then I'm quite a blockchain enthusiast since a couple of years already, and by talking to actually Travis Keys, who is one of our consultant and advisor in the blockchain community, is well known in the outdoor community. He actually highlighted to me the fact that that business case we want to do is actually possible on that blockchain. And it's actually now that we're defining the token as a license. The token as a license, it's really you can do that on Bitcoin, you can do that on Ethereum, and we see actually a lot of blockchain projects doing something very similar that could be branded as token as a license. And I think it's an opportunity also for the broader community to embrace that term and to make it easier to market.
So I'm curious then, because you mentioned that you're focusing on smaller accounting firms or single people as accountants then. So with that in mind, and the fact that if you're then trying to onboard people onto a new system, especially one that has new technology like blockchain in it, was that a strategic decision to go after smaller enterprises or single accountants versus trying to convince a larger corporation, at least to start out?
So the target of the self-employed goes because of the AI. So we're trying to automate. Okay. So we're trying to make it easier to automate by focusing on the people or the companies that have the less complexity.
Right, that makes a lot more sense. Okay, and then what have you seen in terms of talking to your customers and these smaller enterprises or single accountants? I mean, are they then? Is this a very big pain that you're alleviating? Is all of the kind of just raw time that is spent then doing all of these transactions and all of the stuff that can be replaced by AI, is that a big pain of theirs? So
currently self-employed in Switzerland pay an average 5,000 Swiss francs per year to take care of their accounting and spend on average 4 hours per week. And that could just go away with automation. And it's also a big change now in the market. The patent, because we have a patent of the automation, the patent was made in 2015. And we're seeing a huge change between the 2015, where people were not aware of automation and so on, and now the technology went so far that we see our customer, but also the fiduciaries and their associations, the market, really awaiting for automation. So typically, the Swiss Association of Fiduciary, they launch Digital Institute 4.0, and the CPA.com, so the Chartered Professional Accountant in the US, which is 440,000 fiduciaries, they launched last year in Incubator with 2 chapters, and one chapter is how to use AI and blockchain to automate the simple task. Perfect. By a fiduciary.
Voila.
Yeah. So
I'm curious then, is it, are you then starting to see a bit of a change, and are you starting to see a change in sentiment from regulators as well, not only here in Switzerland, but then also, as you mentioned, like the CPA in the United States and Canada as well? You're starting to see people realize that these might be ways to help improve the systems, both AI and blockchain?
Definitely. Okay, so on the AI part, it comes a lot from SAP and Oracle, which have system in place since years, where you can actually do automation, but it's based on rules. So you need actually to to create and manage a huge set of rules to make actually your large system getting automated. And AI is giving a lot of flexibility in it. So because the system is flexible, it can react to changes. And then you can automate a lot faster, I would say, also for small self-employed and small companies. The blockchain part, we believe, is coming a little bit later on, because blockchain will actually allow a state to go direction tax automation, and also fight against corruption and fight against black market. But that's I believe the market is not ready yet for that. And yeah, so we're really looking to listening to government and tax authority to see when that's going to come a priority.
Yeah, we'll have to see as things continue to evolve. But that's all the time we have for right now. But thank you for joining us, Vivien, and
thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for watching.